Welcome back to Scent Vibes with Driz 215. Driz here.
What's going on, Survivors? So, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. So, what we're about to do is break down is Ramad Earthy really worth it or not? So, this is going to be one of them scents that's we a lot of us aren't at all going to get a chance to smell the OG of it because it was a limited release in the Middle East. So, a lot of us aren't going to really be able to even get the experiences. So, what I'm gonna do is just tell you what I think of it, how good is it, and if it's worth the if you spend your money to get it. So first off, let's look at the presentation of it. It's a beautiful box. Arabia Prestige, they do an amazing job with their boxing, and the colors are amazing. Like this one is really nice coloring. I have another Ramad as well, and but this coloring is awesome. So as usual, you flip it open and it sits right in there. And look at the bottle. The bottle is just such a beautiful bottle, y'all. Here's the particulars of that. Arabia Prestige, spinning them around. But the top is really nice. So let's get into what we all came to see, the scent. Here's the atomizer. Shoots out very nicely. So now we're going to talk about the scent, y'all. So here we go. So first off, I did a lot of testing on this. I wore it a couple of days. I wore it in warmer weather, well, around 60 to low 70s, and I wore it in the 50s. So, to try to get a contrast of it, I wore it light sprays, heavy sprays. So, just to try to get a vibe. So the day when I wore it with only 4 sprays, I thought it was kind of weak. Like it didn't really last too long. It maybe gave me about 4 to 5 hours. But then the next time I wore it, when I was testing it, I gave it about 10 sprays, and it lasted. I had to scrub it off. So, if you do concentrated sprays, like about on your pressure points, concentrated sprays, it really does last long. It gave me about a good 10 to 12 hours that I literally had to scrub it off. So, if you're the type of guy that likes to have your scent, last very long, then definitely I would say overspray it. And but if you just cool with just spray and go, then I would say you can do like maybe 4 to 5. But so that's that. So now about the scent. As always, the notes are going to be listed here, and then so basically, this is going to be a fruity honey type opening. You're getting but the fruit here is like it's not like a juicy fruit, it's more like a dried, like like how your grandma probably used to have them dried fruits. That's what this is more like. So it's like the dried apricot, dried mango, stuff like that. And you get your honey. Your honey hits hard in this one, so it opens very honey heavy. And then it's Divana here. You like the Divana gives it like almost like a fermented boozy, it adds that dry fruit feel. It's so it was slightly boozy as well. It was dense, it was kind of thick, but that's a good thing. Then like I say, the honey stayed in this pretty a nice length of time. The honey was definitely in this for almost the length of the scent for me. Then I didn't really get too much tea with this one, but I definitely got the cappuccino. The cappuccino hits in this very hard. Cappuccino definitely came through. It's not like a coffee gourmand either. It's like maybe like a like just think like maybe like a cappuccino, like maybe if it's like a powder cappuccino, like a just like a dried cappuccino. Like I don't know. It was like it definitely wasn't like a strong gourmandish type coffee vibe, but it was like more of a just like a maybe like a cappuccino powder. The way that smells like it, but it hit hard too. So that was very noticeable in this. Then as you get to your late dry down, that's when the vanilla starts to kick in. So the honey, you can still get hints of the honey and like the sweetness of the dry fruit, but the vanilla definitely started kicking in. And then it's called Ramad Earthy for a reason. So then them earthy woods and them earthy vibes started kicking in. So it's pretty good. So to help give y'all a comparison of what I think this leans close to, it which is kind of strange too once y'all hear it. But it gave me like a Guerlain, uh, what's that? Guerlain tobacco honey vibes, and it gave a little bit of Tom Ford tobacco vanille with how the vanilla kicked in. And it's not even tobacco's not even a listed note in here, so that's kind of interesting. But that's the feel I got from this one, like a maybe a tobacco honey or tobacco vanille vibes. That's kind of what it gave, and you know, and the ultimate dry down of it. But this is actually a pretty good scent. It's definitely not blind buy safe. Like this is something that you definitely would want to try to sample or get your nose on if you can. It's but overall it is I did enjoy it. Um Occasion for wearing is interesting. That's the part because I wore it, you know, just testing it. I wore it to work, and I don't know. It's interesting. Like, could you wear this for a date? Potentially. Would you want? You could, you know, I wouldn't say this is like a dress up type scent, but you know, maybe if you have like a coffee date or something like that, or maybe even like a cigar lounge that would probably work well in. But I wouldn't think this is a good date night scent because it's not fresh. It's not really mass appealing. So like I said, it's not blonde by safe. It's just it's like a mature, warm, earthy, honey sweet scent, but it's definitely not gourmand. It's definitely a little bit of mystery here. So, do I recommend it? I would say if you're a type of person that likes different vibes, like you know, you're not just you know like your regular blue freshie or your you know, you just like to feel different vibes, then I would say you should go for this. But if you're not, then stay away. That's the honest truth. But I dig it because you know I'm deep into the fragrances, so I like all types of vibes. But this one is a pretty cool scent. It's wearable. It's good. Uh, and I'm happy I bought it. So that's going to be my review for Ramad Earthy. So like I say, you get that honey, you get the little bit of cappuccino feel, you get the dry fruit feel, and then it gets earthy and vanilla in the base. So it's overall it's a good scent. Like I say, it's a different type vibe, but it's good. So like I say, think Guerlain tobacco honey or Tom Ford what's that? Tobacco vanilla. Yeah, tobacco vanilla. So think that type of vibe for this scent. But it's overall it's cool. I would definitely give it a scent vibe stamp of approval. So that's gonna be it for this video. And I also bought Dual's version of this scent. So I'm gonna do a little comparison later on down the line to see, you know, like I say, still don't know what the OG smell like, but I'm gonna give y'all a comparison of which one, you know, is different. Cause I can already tell you there is differences from Dual's version and this one. So again, we have Ramad Earthy. That's gonna be the full review in this one. So to answer the question in the thumbnail, it's worth it. Y'all have a good day. I'm gonna check y'all. Peace.
Thanks for vibing with me. Remember, scent is your silent signature, so wear it loud. Catch you next time. Stay fragrant, stay fresh. Peace.